Hey everybody, Vinny Sinisi here. We're out to lunch, and today I'm out to lunch with my good friend Doug Bayliss. Doug came in because it's the anniversary of the planting of the Iwo Jima flag. It's amazing because we tried to get together
we have
several times, and we ended up today, February 23rd. I don't know when this is going to post, but anyway, Doug is a good friend. Doug raises a lot of money for some charities and is a Gold Star father along with his wife. And I came from a Gold Star family, so we have that in common. But he shows up at a lot of golf tournaments. Do you do any other charity events?
Yes, we do other things too, not just golf tournaments. A lot of people like to raise funds for Camp Hope, and so we do a lot of different things.
So let's talk about that.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about how you lost your boy.
All right.
Okay, so Camp Hope.
Camp Hope, it's the only facility in the United States that do what we do.
What do you do?
Well, we house over 80 to 100 veterans from all over the country, from all 50 states, at no charge. We house them, feed them, clothe them, and for 6 to 9 months, and we try to save their life.
And where is the facility?
It's just east of the racetrack. Off the Beltway. Yeah, Beltway. So, like I said, it's the only facility in the United States that do what we do. Nobody else does what we do.
Wow. Because we're going to have Scooter Brown in here, and, he is Base Camp 40.
Oh, yeah.
And he's at a lot of the tournaments, too.
Right.
He's a Nashville recording artist. So he's going to help us also.
Awesome.
And we want to raise money for the veterans just like everybody else does.
Sure.
So how did you get started in this? Your son passed away.
Well, after 9/11, my son decided that he wanted to join the military. And I said, well, what branch are you going to join? And he said, well, I'm going to be a Marine. I said, well, there are other options.
For those of you, and there is no other option.
I know. Well, why I said that, I didn't know if he could do it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, other than the birth of my son, going to his graduation was the most highlight of my life.
Was he a Hollywood Marine or was he a Camp Pendleton?
No, he was a Camp Pendleton guy.
Okay, so
Camp Pendleton.
Not Parris Island.
Yep, and he left. He graduated and went to LAV school, became a light assault vehicle driver, and was transferred to Camp Lejeune, and was getting ready to go to Iraq, and they had a tragic accident there at Camp Lejeune. And he didn't make it. Another Marine was killed, and changed my life. Changed my life. Put me in a place that I thought I'd never be in. Lost my compass for a while. Didn't really know. I was in the golf business for 35 years.
Gosh.
And left them, and I just didn't really know what I was going to do. But it got me in a place to where that I've been able to affect, hopefully save one life for what we've done.
Yeah,
but
it'd be worth it.
Yes.
Yeah. So the question is, the graduation is awesome. The Marines actually flied me out there in the early 80s.
Yes.
They wanted mover and shakers from this area. Right. Flew me out there, let me go up into the cockpit. Hey, check it out. I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
Right.
And then watch graduation.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's phenomenal. And I look at the Marine Corps band and all the military, really, not just the Marines.
Right.
But the precision is phenomenal.
It's amazing.
We're number one in the world for defense for a reason, because everybody wants to beat up the American people.
That's right.
Right.
That's
so,
exactly
and we're
right.
first there. And if you saw a few good men,
did.
That whole thing is true.
It is. It is.
Yeah. So you got through that, and when did that happen? Like that was like 22 years.
2004.
2004. So 22 years.
Yeah.
And I know your golf tournament is
right.
20.
We just
21
we
this
just
year.
Did. We'll be 21 this year.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And where are you going to have it this year?
Well, this year we're going to be at a Kingwood Country Club.
Sure.
Yep, and it's going to be December the 14th.
December the 14th. Remember
Please
that.
mark your calendar. It's an amazing event if you've never been there. It's not just a golf tournament. It's not just a golf tournament. You leave there knowing why we do what we do.
It's a tearjerker. I mean, you have paraplegics jumping out of
we do.
planes with the American flag. The one you had at the Woodlands 3 years ago, that flag that that everybody held was one of the biggest flags I've ever seen, and everybody knows me. I give away hundreds of flags a year. But this is what it is all about right here. This is the Braden Bayliss Memorial, 20th year last year, so 21's coming up. Thanks for this.
It's correct.
Thanks.
You're more than
this
welcome.
back?
That's you.
I get to keep it?
Yes, you do.
Awesome.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Well, I gave you a nice mug that
I appreciate that.
says Vinny's Out.
I appreciate that, Vinny. I mean,
and we've known each other for several years.
We have, yes, sir.
And so Doug goes to the tournaments and sets up a booth, usually on like a par 5, right?
That's exactly right.
And then what happens?
Well,
besides taking my money.
Well, the great thing about it, last year we raised over $200,000 going to these golf tournaments.
And how many you got this year? You told me earlier.
Well, we got 50. We have 25 this spring, and then we'll have 25 more in the fall.
So one a week.
Yeah.
And tell me what happens, because I drive up to the par 5 and I try and hide my face.
That's right. He goes, here we go, getting his money out. But we just, when people drive up, we normally give them a nice ball marker, and we've got our new challenge coins that I just gave you one.
No,
did I give it back? Oh, no, that's right. I didn't give you one.
Camera.
Yes, please.
Man, you got all sorts of jingling around in there.
That's our new one, and this was last year's. I try and change them every year.
So this says Invisible Wounds, Hope.
Camp Hope.
Where does it say? Oh, there it says Camp Hope, yeah.
Yeah.
The battle
within.
That doesn't say within on there. You need to go back to your guy.
I do. Maybe he didn't get it all there.
Not enough room. But I have like 10 of these.
Yes.
So, I mean, cool. Broken shield. What is all this? This is
a helmet, raised helmet.
Right? Yeah. We're gonna take a picture of this and put it on the site for you.
Awesome.
Yep. And I know you give these away. I love these things because this is what I get for my $20 when I.
That's right. That's right. But we tell everybody what we do. There's a lot of people. I will say that probably 70 to 80% have never heard of Camp Hope. And
well, that's the whole mission.
It is. Well, you're exactly right. That's a great point. And I normally have a gentleman out there with me. George is out there with me a lot. We do a lot, George. But I've got a lot of Camp Hope graduates that come out and tell their story.
Yeah, you had one last year.
I did. Yeah. And tell how it saved their life.
That's what he said. He said, I was right there.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
We lose 40 to 45 a day to suicide in this country every day.
And everybody thinks it's 22 or something.
No, the reason that is about only 60%, or let me take that back, 30% of the veterans register with the VA. And that's VA numbers, 22.
Because they think they're fine.
That's
I'll get through
right.
it. I've had bullets go by me.
Yep. Well, we got 30% that registered. That leaves 70% that we don't know about. So if I commit suicide today and I'm not registered with the VA, I'm not a statistic.
You don't show up. Yeah.
And I've talked to many veterans at Camp Hope that have tried to commit suicide multiple times. And it's just amazing what we do there.
What feedback do they give you? Thank God this exists.
Well, the camaraderie that they get there, they find out it's just not them.
Yeah.
They talk to somebody that's gone through the same trauma. And they go, wow, I'm not alone. And it's almost like they're back in the service again because they're with their guys.
Hoorah.
And they are able to tell their stories and not feel like I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And and don't get me wrong, there's some of these veterans that come out of it and have to go back again, and we welcome them back. And all this is at no charge. We don't charge.
So how do they get in there? I mean, is there a waiting list?
There sometimes there is.
Yeah.
But normally we'll find a bed.
Okay.
We'll get some help, and it's just amazing what change I see in a a veteran that comes in and comes out. It's almost like they're almost a new person, because a lot of our veterans come back with physical injuries, but sometimes the silent energy is the worst.
Wow. Yeah, I have a couple of friends that have been in Iraq and Afghanistan, and same thing. They come back, oh, I'm fine, and they're not. And
No.
so they go. Is there a timeline? I mean, do they go for a month or?
Well, no, you're there 6 months to graduate.
Okay.
You've got to go through the program for 6 months.
Okay.
But I've seen some of our veterans go there for 9 months. Just depends on the severity of the individual.
Is there counselors that?
Counselors, we take their meds away. We start them from scratch. We've got everything right there at Camp Hope. That's the great thing. The problem with that is, it's not really a problem. The VA gives us no money. The government gives us no money. It's all from donations.
Yeah.
And that's why we do what we do.
What's it cost to put a vet through 6 months?
Well, I can tell you this. It's about $120 a day.
Okay.
Is what it costs you a day.
Yeah.
And, you got 80 guys. So,
wow.
So
you've raised some money.
Well, we have. We've been very fortunate. We've been able to give them $100,000 the last few years, and we're going to keep doing it.
Okay, so tell them about the cannon.
Well, the golf cannon. I was playing golf one time, and I saw a gentleman out there with this cannon. I was playing a benefit tournament, and this guy's putting a ball in it and shooting it out of his cannon. And I'm going, you know what? I think I can do something.
Was
with
it
this.
an air cannon?
Yeah, it was an air cannon. It was an air cannon. And I got to thinking, you know what? I can raise a lot of money with this.
Yeah, you can. And I call it the vacuum cannon because it sucks my money out of my wallet.
It's the video.
I know. When I'm driving up, I see you and George going, "Oh, we got a live one." Because usually the guys I play with, like, here's $100, here's $100, here's $100.
Right. Well, and that's one reason why I don't ask for money. I ask for donations.
Well, honestly, before we get to the whole, I'm always like, make sure you're generous, you guys.
Yes, please do.
Because I know it's coming. I'm like, I joke about it sucking my money out of my wallet, but these guys that play with me, they know. All right, this is
exactly.
This is for a great cause, not a good cause, because good is the enemy of great. It's a great cause.
Well, what's kind of great about this, a couple of times this has happened to me. I've had a gentleman stop by and he goes, "Doug, what's the biggest donation you've had today?" And luckily that day it was $500. Well, he turned around and gave me $5,000. I was doing an event at the Woodlands
of course.
last year.
Yeah.
And I had a gentleman stop by and he said, "Doug," we told our story, and he said, "Do you have a pen?" I said, "Yeah." So I handed him a pen. He's an elderly gentleman, and he pulls out his checkbook, and he writes a check. He hands it to me, and I kind of glance at it, and I said, "Well, thank you so much, sir, for the $2,000. He said, "You missed a zero." He wrote it for $20,000.
$20,000.
$20,000.
That'll help.
It really helped.
Yeah.
But it also threw me sideways.
Did you run the ball down there and put it? Your ball's here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had tears.
I
had tears, and I hugged him, and I just couldn't believe that he did that. But we meet over 7,000 players a year.
Hey, if you're doing one a week.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's so fulfilling.
And it started out just doing one golf tournament?
Listen, I just one golf tournament, and now it's led to, hey, I heard about you guys and heard what you do. Because here's the deal. If we're doing an event for cancer, we split the funds 50-50. Right down the middle. And, a lot of other foundations, or not foundations, a lot of other people that raise money on the golf course sometimes don't do that. But we're able, if we raise $5,000 for at a cancer tournament, they're going to get half of it. So
I got you.
It's good for both sides.
Well, at your tent, whatever hole you're on,
Yes.
you don't just have the ball cannon.
No.
You have you give the trinkets out, the coins.
We do.
And they're different every year. I know I have a bunch of these. And then you also do like wooden engraved
we have
flags.
A couple of veterans that make these custom flags for us.
Yeah.
I wish I would have brought one in. I have one out in the car, but yes, these are custom flags. We'll do it for your company. We do every branch of service. But these two gentlemen make these custom flags. They are very unique.
Well, we'll take a picture of it and put it on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cast.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And so, are those just purchased, or are they auctioned, or?
Well, I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I've done a live auction with one of the flags. It's brought over $9,000 at a gala.
And I've seen it. I've seen them where you have just the American flag, or you'll have it cut where you have like the Marine Corps and the American flag.
That's exactly right.
The Army, all five.
That's what's so unique about it, Vinny, is we can do just about anything.
Yeah,
it's
really growing. That's why I wanted to have you on, because I know it's growing. What's the next event?
Well, we've got one over at Black Horse. We've got 2 golf courses over there. We'll have about 300 players. Black Horse coming up next month.
Yeah. What, like in March?
Yes, 1st of March.
But you're doing one a week.
Oh, I know. Well, sometimes I have 6 in a day. So
6 tournaments in a day?
6 tournaments in a day, yeah.
So how do you?
Well, we'll do, like I'm going to be doing the G-Man out at Kingwood. I've got 3 golf courses out there. So we'll have about 400 players.
So you have a lot of help.
Well, I've got a lot of guys from Camp Hope
that
have stepped in.
But I know you try to make
we try to make every.
You try to be at every single one.
I try to do, but it's just it's a lot of work, but it's all worth it.
Yeah,
it's all worth it.
And then you organize like pregame that I've been to with the parachutist.
Yes, Dana Bowman. He's the first double amputee to ever re-enlist in the military.
Wow.
Dana was a with the Golden Knight flight team. In 1994, Dana was doing a practice jump. In fact, if you look up Dana Bowman on
B-O-W-E-N?
B-O-W-M-A-N.
Oh, Bowman. Okay.
Bowman. And if you look him up on YouTube, you'll actually see the actual event. In 1994, he was doing a practice jump there. They were filming it. A lot of people were out there watching the guys jump, and about 5,000 feet, they were crossing on a total of about 600 to 700 miles an hour, and they collided in midair. It killed his buddy instantly, knocked Dana out, but his chute opened. But when they collided, his buddy's arms cut Dana's legs. He's got steel legs from here all the way down. And Dana is quite an individual. In fact, I'm going to his gala in 1st of March.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the first I've ever heard that story.
Yeah, first double amputee to ever re-enlist in the military.
And the great part about it, you turn tragedy into something good. And here's a guy that could have said, "Woe is me," what the hell,
Unbelievable.
And he jumps with the flag,
American flag.
Yeah,
yep.
It's very awesome.
Yeah,
and then you have the big flag.
That's the one he jumps with.
Yeah.
That 50. Well, he's got a 50-foot American flag that he's tailing behind him.
Yeah,
and he's paired with a parachute.
But the one on the ground that everybody's holding,
that's the one he's kind of flying. In fact, I'll get you. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then you have somebody sing the national anthem.
Yes,
and
Doc Holliday.
Yep. And then what else we have? We have a prayer.
Yes, we do.
Yep, that's always a good thing.
Yeah, and it's just not a golf tournament.
It's tough to watch because your wife's there and you're there and everybody's trying to keep the water in their eyes.
Yeah, well, it is every year.
And then you know what? It's great. I mean,
we've grown from 40 players to now we're about 260 players, and we have a lot of people that have been there for 10 or 15 years that have followed us.
Do you have any other children?
I've got a younger son, Blaine. he is. He and his brother were really close.
Yeah.
And it
How
was
did he handle all that?
not very well.
Yeah.
It was almost a PTSD type
Wow.
effect.
Yeah.
You know, they were very, very close.
Did you get the green car driving up to the house and knock, knock,
Well,
knock?
no, I got a phone call because he was still alive. And his story is a little more than I normally. You know, he and 3 other Marines were headed back to base, and they'd been and they had a lot of equipment in the back of this truck, and it was slick roads. I don't know if you've ever been to Camp Lejeune or not, but it's just kind of winding roads. Yeah. And they hit a tree going back to base, and one Marine was killed instantly. And my son's aorta was torn. They flew him. He lived for about 10 days. I was very fortunate that we actually got to be there before he did pass away. Wow. But the gentleman that was the Marine that was driving the truck, they were going to give him 40 years for 2 deaths because he'd been drinking. And the Marines called me and they said, Mr. Bayliss, would you come back for this trial? Because they were going to put him in the military court, and they had me on the stand, and they said, Mr. Bayliss, do you miss your son? I said, I miss him more than life. But if you think I'm going to destroy this Marine's life, you've got the wrong man on the stand. Yeah. Because I could have been my son driving a car.
Sure.
And
you know, how old? 21?
Yeah. 20 years old. Yeah. So
stupid kids.
You know, things they do. You know, things can happen.
Yeah.
But it changed our whole family's life. But my God, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, Vinny, if this wouldn't happen.
Well, you know, when you're 21, regardless of whether you're a Marine or not, you think you're bulletproof.
Hey, well, listen,
and Marines really think they're bulletproof.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Service?
No, unfortunately, I didn't serve. My dad served. In fact, I went to D-Day this last year. I walked where he walked. Nice. He landed on D-Day.
Oh.
And
how emotional is that?
It was about as emotional as you could get.
Yeah.
But that was in my bucket list to walk where he walked.
Crazy.
But yeah. It was.
So what's for the future? What can we go?
Well, what we're working on now is our guys at Camp Hope, 60% of them that come there are homeless.
Oh.
Well, they're either sleeping house to house or they're underneath a bridge because we fly them, drive them from anywhere in the country at no charge. Southwest Airlines will fly our guys to get to Camp Hope.
Thank you, Southwest Airlines.
And, you know, a lot of our guys hear about us getting ready to go to prison. And their alternative is to come to Camp Hope.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How great is that?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know. A lot of people just think we're out there. And the things that we do there, you know, if we can just save one life.
You're saving a lot of lives, not just one. You may have started with one, but this thing has just mushroomed into it.
It has. And getting back to that, what we're trying to do, I'm trying to find a, not really a halfway house, but a place for these guys to live for a short time that we can, because after, you know, we teach our soldiers how to fight. We don't teach them how to come home.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to that. And we are trying to do a home close to Camp Hope and name it Braden's Home, where we can do a transformation. When they leave Camp Hope, they have a place to go and get them back into society. Yeah.
Is there any kind of cooperative effort with like Tunnels to Tower? Or?
Well, you know, Tunnels of Towers, they do some things with Camp Hope now.
Yeah.
But they're full. There's just not enough. Yeah. There's not enough room for them.
And they're doing great things too.
They do some unbelievable things.
Yeah. And then Wounded Warrior.
There's some great. That
went south a few years ago.
It did. But they're back. They got that stuff straightened out.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of things going on to help these veterans.
Yes.
What? How do people get in touch with you? Look right in there and tell them that where should they go to look to help?
Well, if you want to check, get behind us. It's www.bayliss, BAILESS.org. That is our website. And if you know any veteran that needs help, please contact me and I will get you in touch with the right people. Plus, we have a hotline at Camp Hope. I don't have that number in front of me, but if you'll contact me, if you know a veteran that's in trouble.
It's on the website probably, huh?
Yes, Camp Hope, PTSD USA Camp Hope. You can get a hold of them directly. But listen, don't let that veteran do something that we can't save him from.
Yeah, even if you're unsure, that's when you should definitely reach out.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of people say, Doug, I've got a friend or I've got a cousin. I said, listen, call us. No, we don't leave anybody behind. Trust me.
Yeah, good deal. What else you want to add?
You know, Vinny, I just appreciate
when
you.
can I give you some money?
I'm going to send it to you. But Vinny, listen.
I think I'm going to steal the air compressor.
I may have you start shooting the gun.
Oh, now that would be good. Because George is always like, oh, now aim it right here. And every time I do, I'm like, it went in the woods, George. And I'm sure after I drive my cart down there, he's probably, we got him again.
We got him. Yeah, he goes, this guy's a fish.
Yeah, this guy, just open your wallet, here you go.
But,
well, good deal.
But Vinny, thank you for allowing me to be part of your podcast.
This is a great cause. We designed this podcast with my good friend Steve Saeed that owned Do-Si Do Suicide back in September.
Wow.
And he and I were tight since 1980.
Wow.
And that's why it's almost perfect that you're here and talk about this, because there's a guy I thought, yeah, this guy, in 45 years, I never heard that guy whine or say, why me, or things aren't going good. If we did, we'd laugh about it.
Right.
Or we'd tell each other, oh, shut up, you're fine.
Right.
And then he'd gone.
Wow.
So
I'm so sorry.
There's a guy maybe we could have helped too. Here's what I want to add though.
Yeah.
I have a friend that makes beds for kids. It's called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Mike Fortner. I'm going to make sure you get this podcast. You said you need beds. Maybe he has a contact where we can get you. They make beds on Saturday.
Wow.
And then they give them to kids. I actually had a nurse that took care of me that needed a bed because her family was coming from Cuba.
Wow.
And he donated a bed for them. Yeah. So, and there's other people. They had a ball player that played for me that donated his bed for the brother-in-law of that same family.
Wow.
So people want to help.
Sure.
I mean, is all the news that you hear, all the negative news you hear, for every negative news report, there's 99 good news reports.
There is.
We just don't hear about
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right, Vinny.
So, all right. So, www.bayliss, BAILESS, it's on his shirt there. .org. Okay? All right, great.
Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you, brother.
We appreciate it.
God bless you.
You bet.
Hey, keep in touch with us. We're going to keep coming, some good podcasts coming out here. This is a phenomenal little idea we had 5 years ago, and now it's just mushrooming. I'm out to lunch.